it was hard. It was hard as an actor because sometimes you'll get auditions and they'll be like, how many followers do you have?
Yeah.
And the role will go to someone that has more followers than you.
Hi, I'm Heidi Michelle, and I'm here with the cast of Almost Popular. Now, some of them started out on the screen and some of them on your For You page. And somehow they all came together in the same movie. So today we're gonna talk about how their different paths really shaped the film and how it all came together on set. Okay.
Hold on,
so...
you ate that up.
So I'm really happy to be talking to you guys today. And like I said, some of you guys started out acting different characters, portraying different characters on film. And some of you started out just being yourselves on social media, right? And getting popular because of that. So do you think it is harder to sort of disappear into a role that may be so different from you, or to stand out as yourself on social media? What do you guys think about that?
That's a good question. I've always felt like it's so much easier to, like, I wouldn't say hide, but like, for me, it's always been easier to like go on a set and like do a sobbing scene in front of a whole crew that I've never met versus like post a selfie. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a lot more intimidating to me. I'm not sure why, but.
Well, because, yeah, it's not you when you're portraying someone else,
Yeah,
right?
I feel like it's more pressure if it's just all on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think it's different for everyone. You know, I think for me personally, I did this film with Mark Wahlberg called Joe Bell, where I portrayed a real kid named Jaden Bell who was an openly gay teenager who committed suicide due to bullying. And I think at least for me, it was incredibly difficult to live in those shoes for so long. So I honestly, I think that it's different for every person, and I also think it's different project to project basis.
When I was casting the movie and like putting these actors together, I knew that there would be a little bit of hesitation from the actors, and because there were quite a few influencers in the movie. But what I told a lot of them, my actors, because there's some influencers who have kind of put a bad rap out there for being professional, being on set and stuff like that. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying some of them. So a lot of the times I would just say, hey, just so you know, the people that we have in this film, I fully trust, and they're professional, and they're the hardest working influencers that I ever met. And I know them personally, and I know that they can play this part. I didn't put anyone in this movie just because they had numbers or a certain following. I put people in this movie that I knew and I trusted to show up every day. That was what was important to me. It wasn't a number. It was great to have. You know, some people got here dancing, taking selfies, whatever. Some people got here because they've been acting on TV shows their whole life. But to me, it wasn't about how they got there. It was how they were going to perform. And even Ruby, who's the lead actress, she has a big following, but I see her as someone who's got that from being on Disney and doing a film, and sometimes you just don't get a lot of followers. And the biggest actors in the world don't have huge followings, but they have respect. And I think that's what my cast has. No matter if you're an influencer or an actor, they have my respect, and I know they'll have the audience respect because no one dropped the ball as far as the final outcome.
Well said. Very well said. You ate that. Come on.
I feel back to that, like, I think what you were saying with, I feel there's been maybe like 3 influencers that have given all of social media influencers a bad rep.
Name them.
Go.
No, but like, I think what people don't realize about social media and what a lot of social media influencers do, it's like a full-time job. Like, you're like an in-house filming your own stuff and like creating and doing it that way. And now in this new digital age, I feel with film and TV, like it goes so hand in hand. I know a lot of us like are working with more of the studio sides of the film industry because they're like, we need you for the films. So it's kind of working backwards. So I feel a film like Almost Popular, like bringing together these two worlds, a story that's about social media, is kind of where the future is going to.
What I don't love is that social media kids are used to promote a film but don't have a space in a film. Yeah. And that was another thing. Like, I've seen you guys promote movies and I was like, to me, it's like, if you're in my circle, I don't want you on red carpets for other movies. I don't want you promoting stuff you know, you do get your bag, get your check. But I really wanted to give kids an opportunity that have put in the work to shine, regardless of their background. Some of my proudest moments in directing have come in directing influencers and actors, and I can say every single one of these actors, regardless of their background, they were just always prepared. They were always hard. And in social media, it's a full-time job, like you said, and acting's a full-time job, but you don't see the work. You see the influencer work. So that's all I was looking for when I casted this was A, where they liked the character, and B, did they work hard? And, you know, a lot of the influencers in this film I've known since they were young, and I've seen how much work they've put into building that. Those eyes are going to make these actors look great, and these performances are going to make the influencers rise to the occasion. And when people see this movie, they're not going to go, oh, it's another influencer movie. They're going to be like, damn, these kids really know how to act. And that's what was important to me. Heidi, you're an influencer, correct?
Of some sort, yes.
And
I would
an actress.
say. And an actress. Yeah. So I truly understand what you guys are saying, everything that you guys are saying. And yeah, I think it's just, it can be sometimes hard to break into the acting if you're an influencer, which leads me to my next question. Have any of you guys ever felt boxed in the way people know you as just an influencer or just an actor, and maybe makes you kind of feel a little hesitant to dive into the other side, maybe?
Yeah, I feel like with social media, the problem, like, I mean, a lot of us have like trained in acting for like 8-9 years. Like, that was my goal when I moved to LA, and then social media happened, so I kind of ran with it. But it's this weird part in film right now. It's like you either they see your social media and they're like, oh, they're an influencer and let's not pick them. Or they see someone who doesn't have a following. They're like, we can't put them in the movie because they're not going to be able to promote it. So it's this like weird crisscrossing, which I feel like our film did such a great job at like bringing the two worlds together.
Yeah.
If
I
you cast
agree.
it right, people will come. If it's good, they will come. Regardless if you're an influencer, an actor, and all that stuff, I truly believe if it's made with passion and love and hard work, people are going to find this movie, regardless if there's influencers or actors in it. Anyways, I'll stop talking.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing about both worlds is we all use social media, you know what I mean? So actors get on social media and they'll post what they're in. We get on social media and we post almost our everyday life. And I think the biggest, I mean, there's not really like a huge difference. I think that the casting did a great job at combining everything all together once again. But I would just say, like, there is so much behind the scenes in acting, and there's so much behind the scenes in social media as well that you don't see, and that is only truly perceived. That's because it's like completely handpicked on what you put out on social media. You know what I mean? I don't know if I said that correctly.
No, you
but
did.
Yeah.
Almost Popular is a social media movie. It's
Yeah.
about being influential.
Mhm.
It's about TikTok and all those buzzwords. So it was important for me to have those people in there so they can be like, it's like an acting role, and someone they're like, oh, well, that wouldn't actually happen. So I wanted influencers in this film because it's important and it's a part of the story. Our two main characters try to get famous off TikTok by buying followers. It's a silly thing, but it's a catalyst to the film. And I think a lot of kids, when you ask them today, would you want $1 million or 1 million followers? If I ask my nephews that, they go, I want 1 million followers. Because that to them is more, there's something more to that. So I think what the movie does well is it emphasizes the social media, but it's not what the movie is really about. It's just a way to like get us to where we're going. But Ruby, Isabella, like, what do you think? Because Isabella, you have you do your TikToks and your Instagrams and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting growing up in today's age where social media is just such a really, really big thing, and how it can affect like our jobs, honestly, sometimes. But it is weird because I find myself in a place now where I've been using social media more frequently. I've been like posting TikToks and stuff like that, and sometimes I'll get tagged in an edit from a show or something, and people will be like, oh wait, is that the girl from TikTok?
Yeah.
So like now I'm in this weird cross space where like some people know me from my TikTok videos and some people know me from my jobs, but I was an actor first before social media. So now I'm just like, oh wow, now I'm getting known as like the girl from TikTok. I'm like, that's so strange, but I mean,
you're
guess.
the girl from Hulu Crush, Love Victor, Netflix is incoming. That's how I see you.
But like that's what I mean. Like it's just weird to like get those comments now, like because I'm just like, oh, originally it was like, oh yeah, you're from Love Victor, or you're from Crush, you're from Hulu, whatever.
Yeah.
And so now to like start seeing those comments roll in because my TikTok platform is getting larger, it's like, oh wow, so now people are starting to know me simply from this. It's like, it's weird. It's a weird space to be in. I'm not mad about it, but
I'm happy as a director of the film because I'm gonna try to use that.
Look at you.
So social media is growing so much, and it's becoming such a big part of the entertainment industry. I mean, it is such a big part of the entertainment industry. Do you guys ever feel pressure to sort of get a big following, or to maybe start posting more and be more online, have a bigger online presence in order to compete in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, I think, especially a couple of years ago, like when social media really, like, I guess, became super popular, it was hard. It was hard as an actor because sometimes you'll get auditions and they'll be like, how many followers do you have?
Yeah.
And the role will go to someone that has more followers than you. Maybe they're not as talented as you, but if they have more followers than you, then they're gonna get it. Then I think it kind of calmed down a little bit, which was good, but I don't know, I kind of seen the uprising again, so I'm a little nervous about that. But that being said, it does put pressure on us as actors because, I mean, to be fair, social media is not my passion. Like it's something that I just do for fun, and I like to post videos, you know, and I want to like do a little dance or like I feel pretty or something. But yeah, it's definitely, it holds a lot of pressure just to like kind of like fit in and make sure that we're keeping up with the standards of what today is, I guess.
It's definitely a challenge, especially, you know, I came to LA just to act. You know, I had a dream to act like everyone else here. And, you know, social media is 100% not, it's just not my thing. I just don't understand it. And I respect the amount of work that goes into it because I know a lot of people who do it. And it's like, I can't do that. Like, that's my brain. It's like a musician, it's like a person who's never played an instrument being told to play a guitar. For me personally, I just don't get it, but I have a lot of respect for it because it's like, you're doing that on your own. You're building that on your own. Like that takes a lot of work, especially to understand what's trending, to understand what's gonna get views, what's not gonna get views. I'm sure it's a ton of trial and error. And so I think as an actor, from just a purely actor's point of view, it's hard, it's intimidating, and it's very discouraging, you know, when you're someone who doesn't get it, to realize, oh, I now have to essentially start a whole new career as an influencer if I want to do what my main passion is, which is to be an actor. And it's definitely a challenge. But again, I mean, I have a lot of respect for influencers because they themselves are the brand and they built that brand. So, I mean, it's, you know, yeah, I mean, I can only imagine the amount of work that goes into that.
Did you guys feel intimidated at all as influencers? Or you not my people?
I
only picked strong people.
Personally, I'll jump in on that. I don't really feel intimidated when it comes to social media. I started as a dancer, so dancing, being on a television show, dancing live shows for 4 months every week. That's how I got my following. So it wasn't me just like setting up my camera being like, hey. It was more just like, oh my gosh, what the heck do I do now? But since I was so young, as I started to like climb and find my different endeavors and grow to love acting and grow to love even more dance things and just different aspects of my life, I just continued to share with what I had. So I wouldn't say I necessarily felt like intimidated by it because once the rise of social media did happen, I was kind of already in there a little bit, not even by choice.
Yeah.
That's just my journey. I know everybody's journey here is different. But I will say, like, it was just kind of something you adapt to, especially in this day and age. Like, there's so many things that are, like, just thrown at you, no matter what, whether you're an actor or influencer or whatever you are in life, and you just adapt. And I feel like that is part of life. And the trends, you know, they come and go, so you don't have to hop on everyone. But
It's funny because that's what the movie is essentially about. These kids think that they can use social media to become better overnight. And that's not it. You have to put in the work regardless. And I think what the movie touches on very, not like in a harping way, but if you realize like, oh, there's a shortcut to success and popularity, and these kids are going online and doing whatever. And I think that's almost popular is like a little bit of a message there. It's like wherever you're going, it's going to take time to figure it out. There's no fast way to success. And I always tell people who get discouraged by these things is one hit movie, one hit TV series, you are overnight, and the followers and all that comes. Millie Bobby Brown was an 11-year-old with not one person following her, and look who she is today. Like, if you are good at what you do, like these guys and girls are in this film, that will come. The success you want comes by hard work, and that's what I think the message, a little bit of the message of the film is. It's like there's no shortcut to finding out who you are. And Susie and Bobbie figure it out. Even our villain in the film is sort of a fraud, you know, she's pretending. I think at the end of the day, it's just about being a hardworking, authentic person. And I want to talk to Sarah and Brooklyn because you guys are influencers, like straight up.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I mean, influencing it was the same thing for me. Like, I was like 10 years old, I think, when I first like went viral, and it was just like by accident, honestly.
Wait, can you tell me how you went viral?
I did an Instagram fake fight, so I guess it wasn't like very much on accident.
Roll the clip.
Right. But I went on live with like one of my best friends at the time, and we fake fought on Instagram, and it did numbers like platinum, gold.
The two little girls fighting? That's Sarah.
that's Sarah.
That's me.
At least my lips look big.
I'm the one with I'm the one with the fucked up makeup. Like, they did me so dirty. Actually, I did myself dirty. But yeah, I can say for me, like, when it came to acting, I know a big thing for a while was like influencers would come and they would just not do a good job, and obviously they were only in it because they were influencers. So I didn't want any of the actors to look at me or actresses to look at me and be like, oh, here we go again, you know what I mean? So I really wanted to make a mark in the industry in the opposite way and bring a positive light to it. And I think that all of us as influencers were able to do that. And it's like, I would love to be an actress, obviously, and so I get nervous like trying to cross over too. For sure, it feels like
You
I
are
really
an
gotta
actress,
push
by the way.
myself in there, but I'm totally down to do it. And I'm, of course, like into working hard to get myself there. So I think that all of us can agree with that.
Yeah, and none of my influencers or actors, like, they're in this movie solely because they worked their ass off. And from Connor, who has his, you know, all you guys, Sarah, Brooklyn, Tyshon, who I know we were joking about it in another video, but he didn't take lunch. He stood there and ran it. Isabella jumped in as an actress and was like, let's run this. When I heard that was happening, I was like, I knew I put the right people in this movie, because there wasn't like, it was like, no, we're gonna lift this project up as a whole. So from the actors helping the influencers to the influencers helping the actors, they were just willing to help each other. And that made me feel really good, because I've been on sets where people are like, an influencer. And it was like, hey, do you need help in this? Do you want that? And it's what the message of the film is. And that's what really
It's
is
like
important.
nobody's better than the other. It's like there's
Exactly.
almost this
We're
like
all in the
superior.
project together,
Yeah.
so we should all lift it up to make it the best it can be.
You can really see the love and the support in this movie, and I think that's what makes it different from other influencer projects. I think all of you guys did amazing.
I will say there was an opportunity for me to put a massive influencer in the lead role who wanted to relax, who had like 10 million followers in the lead, and they read the script and wanted to talk, but I had already talked to Ruby and said, this is who's it.
Oh, I must know now.
Off camera. So I was like, oh, I have an opportunity to put someone with tens of millions of followers in this movie, but I had already seen the perfect person for the role, like all these kids. No matter if someone came with millions and millions of followers, it would not have changed my mind or enticed me, because as a director, my job is to put the best performances on there and let the movie do the talking. And I'm grateful that I have kids on here that have a big following and that will help us. But at the end of the day, if the film does not hit, it doesn't matter, because we've seen big actors go into leading roles and it's like, we'll get there without that. And the movie speaks for itself.
Now, going back to social media, do you guys think it's made it harder or easier to sort of break into acting for new actors?
I think it's like a weird place right now because there's someone like, say, Sydney Sweeney, who did Euphoria, and now she's posting like a bunch of influencer type ads, and that's how she's staying so relevant, and she's in every film right now, so it's helping her, and Zendaya too. But it's this like weird crossover that they don't know if, because they have a following, they don't know if they're like trained enough to go into acting. So
Funny thing was, Sydney Sweeney was an extra in a music video I directed. So that's, and she put in the work. She's a hard worker, and she even talked to me. She's like, I want to be an act. She probably doesn't even remember me, but this was before she had done anything really. And she was like, I want to be an actress and da 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 da. And now look at her. So social media means jack shit to me at the end of the day, because you can achieve everything you want with hard work like all these kids did.
Yeah, like I came down here when I was like 12, and my whole thing was getting into acting because I danced my whole life like Tahani. And I remember thinking, I'm like, oh, I want to get into this. And I started taking classes and stuff. And social media just kind of happened. It's not like, but like I'm very thankful for it, and it's something that's part of my life now. And it's also a thing that I'll look at as like it's gonna be memories for the rest of my life, which is really kind of cool in a way for like my future kids and all that. But I think for me, it was always like, oh, I want to get into acting. So it's like you're battling, like still keeping up to date with social media and then working your ass off in auditions and self-tapes. I think that's kind of been the thing. I think it's something that we all have, is we all kind of work for what we want. I think sometimes we think, oh, there's like, a barrier. And I think everyone can kind of be both, and kind of, I think there should be no like box. And I think that's what we kind of like all continue to prove in our careers, that like you can, like also some of us can sing as well. So like, you kind of want to do everything. So I think that's something that I always like battle with, where I'm like, man, like they sometimes think I can only do this, but I know I can do this. I just want to, like, it's like proving that to yourself and to, an audience that's in front of you.
I was really surprised how you took those small scenes you were in, and I knew you as a dancer, influencer. So when I saw, I was like, damn, he took those little moments, and that's an actor. All these kids could be, we could all be on the other side, like switching back and forth. I could be on the influencer side. I built my career on that. So again, just harping on, it didn't matter to me at all.
Oh, that's so nice, guys. Oh, you guys are really cute. Now I have a really fun question for you guys, and I'm actually excited for you guys to answer and hear your answers. If your almost popular character were an influencer, what kind of content would they post?
Oh, that's easy.
My character is like an influencer. She's the TikToker of the school, and she does dance content. And if I could like choose everything that she does, it would be everything that I do, which is dance and do makeup and hair and like cute girly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know my character would be literally me. Loud. I know my character like to eat, because I know that's me. And I feel like, yeah, that's just my character right there. I feel like he's very, and also like my character is involved in the influencer space too. So it fits me.
What would Susie and Bobbie make content?
I feel like Susie and Bobbie would be on like battles on live.
Mm-hmm.
Like they
With the filters.
You guys would be popular on the internet.
I feel like Bobbie and Susie would take turns.
Or we would do like little skits or something.
Skits, or like they would. Reviews. Yeah, and like whoa! I just had a stroke. I think Instagram or whatever would be so chaotic.
No, we're talking about
Because
TikTok.
TikTok, same. I mean, it would be the same thing. It would still be so chaotic.
Yeah.
Any platform they're on would be so chaotic. Like one day,
I think we'd have a joined account.
yeah, one day Bobbie would hack the Instagram and post an inspirational political quote.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
And then you would post the same day a video
I would do like
sorry
an
guys.
OTG trying to be like Vicki, and it would be like,
yeah. And we would post like 4 times in the same day because we would be like, sorry, she posted that. We're gonna be posting more about this.
I would be posting thirst traps to get Vicky's attention. That's what I'd probably do.
In the movie, Bobbie and Susie were down to do anything to be popular, right? Kind of like how we were talking about. So, and I think it's very important to step out of your comfort zone every now and then, try new things. So have you guys ever done anything where you have pushed yourself out of your comfort zone in order to book a role or maybe grow your following?
I think literally playing Susie was out of my comfort zone a little bit. Like it was definitely uncomfortable for me to be like, just, I don't know, let myself be that like unfiltered, I guess.
And you did it so great. There were so many moments on set where Ruby would be concerned over, her performance. And to me, I was always so shocked by your fear because you would there's a scene in the film where you're very emotional. And I remember working up to that scene. I remember how stressed you were. And then you did the first take and it was...
Yeah, that's what good friends are supposed to do. You're supposed to protect each other.
Bobbie, please. Wait!
You need to give yourself more credit, but that's beside the point. You just really killed every scene that you did, so.
I would ask you to be silly, and you guys would be silly, and then you would immediately, from my actors and to my influencers, you guys knew how to turn it on, and that is part of influencing, is turning it on, and that is part of acting. There's so much crossover there, but to harp on that scene, yeah, there's moments in the film when we're not being silly and goofy, and you would, Isabella, Reid, you guys had some really emotional moments, and yeah, it was just... I could talk all day about this movie, but...
I know I definitely stepped out of my comfort zone. Before I started doing social media and even got, to be in this lovely cast, I was a nurse. So the fact that... Sarah, don't even make that face, you knew that. Yeah, I was literally kind of like in the hospital doing my thing, and then I gave influencer a shot, being an influencer a shot. And then it just took me on this crazy roller coaster that I'm like happy that I just like took the chance to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So were you pushing patients in a wheelchair and being like,
I was taking care of the old folks, the new folks, all of it, okay? My parents really was pushing me to that medical field. And something was like, no, because I like Martin Lawrence, I like Bernie Mac, I like the people that like make me laugh. And I was like, I can see myself one day making people laugh. So like, yeah, that's when I started doing
that's what you do.
Thank you. I just want to say something real quick. The leads, I'm gonna have to say thank y'all because I was so nervous and I feel like they was just so professional and I feel like I had like a little small moments between like them just being like, you good, like it's okay, and I feel like they was just so comforting and I feel like I was like, oh my God, like scared because like they're professional, you know what I mean?
Well,
and
that's
it's my
how
first
I felt
time
coming onto this project with all these influencers. I was like, oh my gosh, I have the least following in the cast. Like, it's my first time in a lead role in a film with all these people who are self-branded, have all these things going for them. And I was intimidated and you were intimidated.
But you helped me out a lot too. I would say I have to shout out a moment you did. One moment she literally was like, I was so nervous. And she was just like, look at me if you get nervous. Like if you like are reading your lines, like I'm gonna be on the other end. Just like look at me if you feel like you just like are starting to spiral. And I just kind of like, she was in the scene with me. So like, she was doing her thing and they were doing their thing. And I kind of like, I would look at her and kind of just like feel a little bit more comfortable. I felt comfortable with you guys too, but like, I have to shout out that moment right
thank
there
you.
because that
And I
helped out a
mean,
lot.
Trust me, playing Vicki was out of my comfort zone entirely because every line she has is just like knocking someone down.
Ew. Go back to your short bus.
So
That is not like you.
that is
No,
not
at
like
all.
me.
It's so sweet to hear about all these like behind the scene moments and just of you guys helping each other out. And I did want to ask, because you, Ruby, and Ellodee, you guys were talking kind of about this, and everybody has mentioned something. I feel like has almost popular pushed you in a way creatively also that maybe you didn't expect?
For me, it pushed me. It's such a female led film, right? There's a lot of women in this film. Our crew was a lot of women. For me, it was a new muscle to work because I really wanted to embrace the femininity of the film, if that's the right word. And I put together who I thought were the best people for that. So that was, for me, I was like, I'm casting in front of the camera and behind the camera.
As an influencer, I don't really I didn't know how to act or anything like that. So trying to build a character, and I didn't have much experience doing that. Like, I was really in my brain every day, like thinking, trying to be creative on like, how can I make my character stand out? Even if it's a role of me standing in a diner for 10 seconds, I don't care what my role was. Like, I want my character to shine and do as best as they can do in their part, you know what I mean? So kind of building like, you know, what I think was happening before the scene, or what was the lore behind my character before this that we don't see on screen, you know what I mean? Like, I really had to creatively think about all those kinds of things.
Yeah, and that's what acting is all about. So that's really awesome that you guys worked so hard. Yeah.
I know for me, it pushed me because I got this opportunity and it was my first time like getting a role, like getting lines and stuff. And I feel like I just recently came from Brazil because I had like an opportunity I did out there, and that was my second time getting lines. And I was mentioning to somebody how like I felt like I was so nervous in this moment, and then when I got that other moment, I kind of just like thought back to this moment, and I was like,
I'm ready.
Yeah. Like I can do it, because I feel like being around these like professional people, they kind of like just seeing them in their natural space made me confident, and like you can't be so much in your head. I know I talked to Isabella as well, like she kind of gave me some pointers on like future things and stuff like that. So I gotta shout out my people on this, guys. Like y'all taught me a lot. I was like peeping in the back, looking, kind of like, you know, scoping out the sceneries and stuff, but y'all did y'all thing and y'all taught me.
So what do you guys think is more vulnerable? Getting notes from a director or seeing your comment section? Because they both hit in different ways, I will say.
No. I was going to say director.
For sure.
Director.
Yeah.
For sure.
Not just Ned.
It's like opposite. You all said director, you all said
like not just Ned, but like any director, like when you're on set and they like just say anything to you, you just feel like, oh my God, like I'm about to do something wrong, or I did something wrong. Like I'm not doing this good
It's
enough.
your live performance too. Like I have to lock in.
Yes, like even if they just look at you like, wait, you looked at me for 1 second too long. Like I'm
what
doing
did I
something
do?
wrong.
I get it.
Yeah,
I
it was
relate.
super stressful.
I know
Like,
I had my little, I had my moment where like, I saw him laugh and I was like, oh my God, he laughed, he smiled. Okay, I'm doing it. I have to keep this energy up.
The funny thing is, Ellodee would come up to me and she'd be like, "Was that good?" And I was like, "If I don't talk to you, you're good.
It's good."
Like I don't have. I like if I don't have to exert any energy on you, I can exert it on the shot, or I can exert it on thinking about other things. So I always try to cast people who I just know are gonna fit the role. So I didn't have to direct these kids. I said I think one note, I was like, Reid, a lot of young men are gonna look at you and wanna feel something and wanna feel like they're you. Like, let's do that for that. And sometimes I'd be like, Ellodee, just a little faster. Ruby, let's try something funny at the end there. Bella, I didn't even give her a note. I can't even say that I directed her. So I didn't really give a lot of notes because they did the work. Like even Tahani, when she came with her whole character, and I was like, oh, I love that. I love seeing people have these like little characters, even with the smallest roles. So I didn't give a lot of notes in this movie. I think I maybe talked to Ruby and Reid the most, but there's no moment where I was like,
Yeah.
you know.
It was really just like in the beginning days of like laying down the groundwork of the character, but other than that, like
To me, directing, if you have the right cast, I don't really have to do anything because I did the work. I knew who fit the role. So these guys, like even Allison, you came in, you're the last person to get casted, and it was such a quirky role, and I was like, who the F is gonna play this girl? And you just came in, and you even remember when you did the BJ joke, and I was like, I did not expect that, but they all came to play, and they all came to do everything, and to me it was just like, all right, cut, we got it, moving on. So the work was done beforehand, and props to them, because even from the smallest to the biggest role, they really cared and really did their job.
The most beautiful thing too, like you never know somebody's backstory, whether you're an actor, a dancer, an influencer, you never know how somebody started. And so just huge props to Almost Popular and the whole cast and crew, because we never judged anybody. We were always just here together. We showed up together, and whatever we needed help on, we guided each other through that, especially, you know, like our leads. And I know you guys had a lot more filming than some of us, so just making sure that everybody was not judgmental at all and just 100% came together, what is the most beautiful thing about influencers and actors.
Oh my God, thank you guys so much for letting me ask these questions. And honestly, it was so amazing to hear everything you guys had to say. And this division, there's no more division, guys.
We're all together.
And you can now watch Almost Popular featuring this cast, and it's out now, so go watch.
Yay!